Hello friends, so today we are going to discuss two topics. That is, first one is the derivation of general gas equation and what are the different types of ideal gas processes that we are going to see today. So first topic is the derivation of general gas equation. Now what is the significance of general gas equation? Why we are deriving this general gas equation? Now up till now we have seen the different gas laws, the definition of the ideal gases, different ideal gas laws we have seen. But when you are doing the analysis of the practical gas, the behavior of the practical gas is different than the ideal gas. In the ideal gas case, ideal gas is obeying the gas laws. It may obey the Boyle's law, it may obey the Charles law. But in case of the real gases, it doesn't obey, the real gas it doesn't obey any of the gas laws. But for the analysis purpose, we consider that the real gas is obeying the ideal gas laws, and we are then deriving a particular gas equation which will be applicable to all the gases, that may be the ideal gases or that may be the real gases. Now we see this derivation. We see that gas laws gives us the relation between the two variables when the third variable is constant in case of the ideal gases. But in the practical gases, all these three variables, that is pressure, volume and temperature, changes simultaneously. So in case of the ideal gases, what we have considered, in case of the ideal gas processes, we have considered that any one of the parameter between pressure, volume and temperature, one of the parameter is remaining constant and other two are changing. But in case of the practical gases, neither of the parameter is remaining constant, all the parameters are changing. Therefore, the analysis of the practical gases is very, very difficult. So for the analysis of the practical gases, what we are considering, the Boyle's law and the Charles law are combined together, of which we are deriving the general gas equation, which can be applicable to all the gases. Now for that derivation, we consider 1 kg of a real gas which changes its state from P1 V1 T1 condition to P2 V2 T2 condition by two processes, namely constant pressure process as shown in the PV diagram, that is process 1 to A. So this process is the constant pressure process, and constant temperature process, that is process A to point number 2, that is A2 is the constant temperature process as shown in the figure. So actually the real gas is going through the expansion process from state point 1 to state point 2. So this must be the actual curve, but we have divided this curve into the two gas processes differently. That is the ideal gas processes. That is the constant pressure process and the constant temperature process. Now constant pressure process is obeying the Charles law that we already seen, and the constant temperature process is obeying the Boyle's law. But whatever is the initial point and the final point, that is not changing. So we have just divided a practical gas process which was randomly going from state point 1 to state point 2. We have divided it into the two ideal gas processes. Now the constant temperature process, the volume changes from VA to V2. Now for the process 1 to A, where pressure is equal to constant, we are applying the Charles law for that. So we can see V1 upon T1 is equal to VA upon TA, that we are knowing. So as volume and temperatures are directly proportional when pressure is constant, so we are having V by T is equal to constant. So applying that at state point 1 and state point A, so we are writing this equation as V1 upon T1 is equal to VA upon TA. Now in this case, what we are saying that in this process, pressure is remaining constant, but volume is changing and temperature is changing. In this process, A2 in A2 process, we see that volume is changing and temperature is remaining constant. Pressure is changing. So for both the processes, we see that volume is changing. Therefore, we are writing the equations for the volume, that is the intermediate volume, that is VA. Now V1 upon T1 is equal to VA upon TA. Therefore, writing this equation in terms of VA is equal to V1 upon T1 into TA. So VA is equal to V1 upon T1 into T2, as TA is equal to T2, because the temperature at this point TA is equal to temperature T2, because this is a constant temperature process. So we can replace TA by T2. So this is our equation number 1. Now for process A to 2, applying the Boyle's law, because it is a constant temperature process. So for the constant temperature process, we know that PV is equal to constant. So applying at the state point A and 2, therefore we are having PA VA is equal to P2 V2. So writing this equation again in terms of VA is equal to P2 upon PA into V2. Therefore, VA is equal to P2 upon P1 into V2, as PA, pressure at point A, must be equal to pressure at point 1, because this is a constant pressure process. So pressure PA is equal to pressure P1. So we are replacing PA with P1. So this equation becomes VA is equal to P2 upon P1 into V2. This is our equation number 2. Now these two equations are for the intermediate volume, that is VA. So we can equate these two equations. So equations 1 and 2 we are equating, that is V1 upon T1 into T2, that is equal to V2 into P2 upon P1. Now we are arranging the terms, that is the terms related to the state point 1 to one side and terms related to state point 2 to the other. We can write this equation. So it becomes PV upon T is equal to constant. Therefore, this equation we can arrange. So it becomes P1 V1 upon T1, that is equal to P2 V2 upon T2. So we are having all the three variables at both the sides, that is at state point 1 and state point 2. So this equation becomes P1 V1 upon T1, that is equal to P2 V2 upon T2. So what is the nature of this equation? That is PV upon T, that is equal to constant. So nature of this equation becomes PV upon T, that is equal to constant, and that is equal to some constant term that is called as a R term, capital R. Now this capital R stands as a characteristic gas constant. This is a constant term related to that particular gas. So this equation becomes PV upon T, that is equal to R. So it becomes PV is equal to R into T. So this is for the unit mass of gas, because we are considering only 1 kg of gas. So for the gas having m mass of the gas, we can write this equation as PV is equal to mRT. So multiplying it with the mass only. So this is our general gas equation. Now general gas equation is also called as a characteristic gas equation, where capital R stands for characteristic gas constant, that is the unit is joule per kg degree Kelvin or kilojoule per kg degree Kelvin. Now this particular constant term remains constant for that particular gas. This term is different for the different gases, but for a particular gas this term remains constant at different pressures and temperatures. So that shows the behavior of the gas. Pressure P is the pressure in Newton per meter square or Pascal. Then V is the volume in meter cube. T is the temperature of the gas in degree Kelvin or degree Celsius. So characteristic gas constant R, the value of this constant is different for the different gases. So capital R is equal to 287 joules per kg degree Kelvin for air. So we have taken some examples here. Capital R is equal to 259.8 joules per kg degree Kelvin for oxygen, and some more examples we can also write. So this particular value for air remains constant at different temperature pressure throughout the world. So this R value doesn't change for the particular atmospheric air, and this value is not changing for oxygen. So in the similar way, for the different gases we are having the constant value of R, that is characteristic gas constant. So now this equation is applicable, that is general gas equation, PV is equal to mRT, is applicable to all the gases. Those gases may be the ideal gases, or those gases may be the real gases. So we can use this equation, and if we are knowing the characteristic gas constant, mass, temperature, we can calculate the different other parameters or unknown parameters, and we also calculate the energy transfer through the system and the surrounding. So this was about the derivation of the general gas equation. In the general gas equation, we are considering the real gas process. Actually, we are dividing that real gas process into two ideal gas processes for our analysis. That is, the first process is the constant pressure process, and second is the constant temperature process. So applying those governing equations to the corresponding processes, we are writing the equation in terms of the common factor, that is the volume at point A, and then equating it. So we are getting the nature of the variables, how these all the three variables are changing. That nature we are getting, that is PV upon T is equal to constant. So this particular ratio is the ratio of these variables, and this ratio is remaining constant throughout the change of the state. Therefore we are writing it is equal to constant, that is R. So this R is constant for that particular gas. That R shows the change of pressure, volume and temperature. So that is the important parameter. And so this equation becomes PV is equal to RT. So for this is for the unit mass. For the total mass we can write PV is equal to mRT. Then different parameters we already discussed. What are the units of different parameters involved in the general gas equation? Now the next topic is the specific heat of the gas, which is denoted by capital C. Now what is the definition of the specific heat? We already discussed in the previous lectures also. It is defined as amount of heat required to increase the temperature of unit mass of gas through 1 degree Celsius. Therefore, how much amount of heat is required to increase the temperature or decrease the temperature of 1 kg mass of a gas, that particular gas, through 1 degree Celsius. So it is represented by Cp. Now in case of the ideal gases, or in case of the gas processes, we are considering the specific heat at constant pressure and specific heat at constant volume. These are the two ideal gas processes, and we are, according to the experiments, we are getting the values of specific heat at the constant pressure. So behavior of the gas at constant pressure and behavior of the gas at constant volume. So what is the value of specific heat at constant pressure of that particular gas, and what is the value of specific heat of that particular gas at constant volume process? So its unit is again joules per kg degree Kelvin or kilojoules per kg degree Kelvin. Now if you are knowing the specific heat of the gas, we can calculate how much is the heat gained by the gas, or how much is the heat lost by the gas, if you are knowing the changes in the temperature of the gas. So what is the initial temperature of the gas and what is the final temperature of the gas? Suppose we are adding the heat. If the initial temperature of the gas is suppose 10 degrees Celsius, and if you have stopped the addition of the heat and you are measuring the temperature T2, that temperature T2 is 20 degrees Celsius. So we have changed the temperature from 10 degrees Celsius to 20 degrees Celsius. So we can use the equation to calculate how much amount of heat is added there, because we are knowing the specific heat. So to raise the temperature of the gas by 1 degree Celsius, this much amount of heat is to be added. That much amount of heat is called as a specific heat. Therefore, when you are multiplying, we are writing this equation as capital Q is equal to mcp or mcv into bracket delta T. Delta T is nothing but temperature difference, that is T2 minus T1. So Q is equal to mass into C, that is Cp or Cv, that value you have to take, and then into temperature difference. So for our example, 20 minus 10 into C value into mass value. So we can get the total heat which we have added. In a similar way, when the heat is rejected, so again there is a change in the temperature from the initial state to the final state, then we are getting the value of value of Q, that how much amount of heat is rejected from that particular system of the gas. So this was the important topics, that is the derivation of the general gas equation, then concept of specific heat of the gas. Now next topic, that is the different ideal gas processes that we have to see in the chapter. So we are going to discuss in the forthcoming lectures in details, one by one, about each ideal gas processes. So which processes we are going to consider and what are the names of those processes. So first process is the constant volume process. It is also called as isochoric process. Second process is the constant pressure process. It is also called as isobaric process. Third process is constant temperature process. It is also called as isothermal process. Fourth process is the constant entropy process. It is also called as isentropic process. And fifth process is the polytropic process. So we are going to discuss the analysis of all these processes, and we are going to solve the simple numericals on all these processes in the forthcoming lectures. So it's all for today. Thank you.